This is episode 534, Reclaiming Your Financial Power and Worth with Jody. Welcome to Life Coaching with Christine Hassler, a space where truth and love come together to guide you back to your truest self. Hi, I'm Christine, a master coach, author, and spiritual psychologist. For over 20 years, I've supported people through the deep work of letting go, waking up, and coming home to who they truly are. Each week, you'll hear an unedited, unscripted coaching session with someone moving through a challenge or block in their life. These are tender and powerful conversations where deep healing happens in real time. Even though I'm coaching someone else, you will hear yourself in their story. This is a place where you will feel seen and supported and walk away with insight, emotional relief, and tools you can apply in your own life. Let's dive into today's session. Hey everybody, and welcome to the show. Oh my gosh, we cover so much in today's episode, and this call is so perfect. I know that every one of you is going to relate to some aspect of it. Jody has gotten divorced after a 20-year marriage, and she's really scared about finances and money and supporting herself. But as we unpack what she thinks her fears are, we realize it's really about something else, not money. And for most of us, we think we have financial problems, or we're in a scarcity mindset, or if only we had more money or more financial literacy. We have a really kind of warped sense of what our actual issues with money are. Usually we don't have issues with money. It's something else, and it's showing up in our financial life. And this is so perfect because right now, you've probably heard me talk about it, my friend Kate Northrup is teaching her free workshop, Good with Money, and she will be enrolling into her program, Relax Money. So no matter when you're listening to this, you can check it out at christinehassler.com/goodwithmoney. We'll put that link in the show notes because she is the most comprehensive teacher I know when it comes to money. She really approaches it from the 3D goal line of like really getting your finances in order and helping you make your money work for you, but also looks at your nervous system and your subconscious and your family of origin and all the things that you need to have healed and working at the optimal level so that your 3D results when it comes to money get better. It's such a comprehensive program. It's so great. Everyone that I've sent to it loves it. And I'm offering some really cool bonuses as well. If you join through my link, I'm a proud affiliate of this program. I'll be talking about the bonuses next week. It's christinehassler.com/goodwithmoney. So if you really want to up-level your, not just your finances, but your whole energetic being around abundance and receptivity and support, this is the program for you. So as you're listening to this call with Jody, consider, how do you relate to money? Do you have some scarcity around it? Have you just gone through a big life change where you've really felt stressed by money? Are you someone that gave your money power over to someone else? Maybe it was a spouse, maybe it was a financial planner. Maybe you thought your company was going to take care of you for the rest of your life and it didn't turn out that way. And now the power's back in your hands and you don't know what to do. And finally, are you carrying over some of your family of origin beliefs and behavior when it comes to money? So keep these questions in mind as you listen to my coaching call with Jody. Before we dive in, I want to talk to you about your air quality. If you are not using a really good air purifier in your home, I really want to encourage you to get one. This is so worth the investment. Look, our air quality is not good out there. I won't get on my soapbox about that, but know that there's things floating around in the air, both outside and inside, that really aren't good for your overall health or for your pets or for your children. I am super passionate about the Austin Air Systems purifier. I have, 5 of them in my home. Austin Air uses more combined filter material, HEPA and carbon, than any other purifier, which includes medical grade HEPA. They have been clinically proven in 7 clinical trials that shows using these air filters reduced respiratory symptoms, medication use, and asthma-related ER visits. Their filters are designed to last 5 years instead of 3 or 6 months like other brands. I have one other brand of a filter, and I'm always getting new filters every 3 to 6 months. I'm like, geez, the filter's out again? Not with Austin Air. It's every 5 years. And a lot of people who bought their filters back in 1990 are still using them today. Most of mine are from 2020, and I have them running 24/7. They also don't use plastic or non-toxic paint, but solid steel and non-toxic powder coat paint, and they don't connect to Wi-Fi. So the EMF burden is a lot lower. I also had the EMF evaluated in my house, and the EMF guy was like, hey, what air filter is this? Because this is the lowest EMF we've seen. And that's really important to me as well. So I have a discount code for you that's valid for the standard and junior model air purifiers. It's Hassler 10. Hassler 10, and you go to austinairsystems.com, AustinairSystems.com. Can I spell? Clearly no. I'll say it again. Austin, like the city, airsystems.com. The promo code is Hassler10. Invest in this. Your health is so worth it. And like I said, 4 of mine I bought in 2020. I replaced the air filters last year. I love these. I definitely notice a difference when I'm sleeping in a place without these air filters. So again, code is Hassler10 and the URL is austinairsystems.com. All right, and now on to my coaching call with Jody. Jody, welcome to the show. How can I help?
Thank you. Thanks. It's kind of really exciting to be here. I've been going through a pretty major life transition. I'm really trying to move into a place of abundance from a mindset of scarcity. I'm taking on finances. I'm getting divorced after 20 years and really struggle with scarcity. I've not been involved with our finances. That's part of it. But I just really want to step into more of like a grounded sense of worthiness. And a large part of that is taking care of myself and not coming at life from kind of a less than, not enough place.
Yeah. So that less than not enough place, it probably has developed some kind of coping strategy with it. Mm-hmm. What is the coping strategy? Like, how do you cope with stress?
Oh, with stress or money stress?
Let's just start with stress in general, because there's going to be parallels.
Yeah. A lot of rumination, a lot of productivity, a lot of...
Is it productivity or is it busyness?
It's busyness.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else?
Stress. I get really overstimulated and overwhelmed easily. I don't know if it's perimenopause, trauma, ADHD, or what, but that's what I'm...
Or all of the above.
all the opposite things, yeah. Overwhelm, overstimulation, rumination, busyness. Yeah, I get really stuck in my head.
Yeah. Oh gosh, so many of us can relate to that. And then specifically with money?
A lot of avoidance. It's scary. I find my body just really wants to shut down and avoid.
And what does money or conversations about money remind you of?
Again, the not enoughness. Like growing up, we were very lower middle class, I would say. My parents, neither of them graduated high school. They were really hard workers, really proud of, head down, plow through it, grit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's what I've learned growing up, but I know that that's not how life needs to be.
Yeah. And why are you getting divorced, if you're willing to share?
There's a lot of toxicity in our marriage, and I've learned how I contributed to it. And I've worked hard on trying to overcome my patterns. He didn't. For a long time, we both blamed me. He is only able to see my role in it. And so I'm thankful to be divorcing, but it's really overwhelming to be this age and starting everything over. And then I also have kids that I want to, now that I understand the dynamics that were in my marriage, I want to protect them and teach them. And I get really anxious too when it comes to finances and trying to teach, especially my daughter. I don't want her to learn the same things I've learned.
Okay. And what have you learned?
Stay small. Don't ruffle feathers. Small is safe. Yeah. In my marriage, there was a lot of, I didn't realize it at the time, but there was a lot of financial control. There was a lot of emotional and psychological control. I didn't realize that. And so I've understood my patterns of my childhood, how they led to my marriage. But financially, that's just all on me. I need to get my way out of it. And I just really don't want to live a life where I feel small.
Yeah. If you had a magic wand and this magic wand could change or fix one thing about you when it comes to money, Not this magic wand isn't going to put $5 million in your bank, right? But it's going to empower you with something that you don't think you have or fix something that you think is broken when it comes to money. What would you want that magic wand to do?
I would like to not no longer feel fear related to money, fear that I'm going to screw it up or I'm going to mess up my what I have now that I take over, fear that this is new and I'm not capable. I would like
Mm-hmm.
to also get rid of the fear that I'm going to screw my kids up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. So can you see that fear though is pervasive in many aspects of your life? This isn't just about money.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So why don't you trust yourself? I
Growing
don't
up,
just mean with money. I mean
I'm
just
very,
with everything.
yeah. I never got to know myself. I grew up in a home where there was a lot of control as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
People pleasing. I picked up people pleasing really easily, quickly.
Yeah.
Uh, Going to church, like I grew up in the evangelical wave of purity culture,
Mm-hmm.
where we were told everything was our fault. Truly,
Mm.
it was our fault. So I've carried that with me, and just that feeling of not enoughness, just feeling like a lack of autonomy and agency. That's what.
Yeah.
So I know that's where my nervous system is holding my fear of money.
So if you were to take away your childhood programming and for a minute remember who you actually are, and you've had glimpses of this, you've had glimpses of this, of who you actually are. What do you know to be true about yourself?
I do know that I'm capable.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that I'm strong. I didn't know
Yeah.
that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that I have a really good intentional way of being, but I don't always show up with in the way that's best, maybe. But I know that my intentions are pure and good.
Yeah.
And I know that it comes from a place of love for myself, that I'm learning to stand more on my own 2 feet. But
Right.
it comes from a place of love when it's directed towards other people.
Okay, great. So you do know yourself.
I do.
Okay. So I just want to show you that what you said earlier about not knowing who you really are isn't 100% true.
No, it's not 100% true.
Okay. So you've got some strong, a strong character in there and some clear discernment and strength, right? There's a lot that you know about who you are.
Yes.
I don't actually think you have fears around money.
Mhm.
I think you have fears around shoes dropping and things going wrong that you feel like you can't control.
Yes. Yeah.
So your nervous system over time has learned to brace. And so anything that feels important automatically has a brace.
Yeah.
Like think about something you're not really attached to. Like, for example, do you have any wounding or issues around grocery shopping?
Now that I've divorced, I'm really struggling with that one actually. But
Because of the money.
well, because of the money and because I've
Right.
gone from half empty nesting, like I've
Right.
gone from a family of four to a family of me with my daughter half the time because my son's gone away to school this year. So I'm learning how to do it all over again, even grocery shopping.
Yes. Yes. But let's just use something super common like that. Like when you're going into the grocery store, are you brace? I know the money part's an issue, but are you bracing that? I don't know, there's going to be no basket. So you're really going to need bananas and there's not going to be bananas, or that all the cash registers are going to break or something terrible is going to happen at the grocery store.
No.
No, right? Because there's not an association with that, right? And it's not something that has been a big problem in your life so far. But anything that you deem as really mattering, that you really feel like you have to figure out, from parenting to money to how you show up to all these things, to probably even how you're presenting yourself on this podcast, there's a bracing.
There's a break. Yeah.
So the good news in this is it's actually not about money and it's not about scarcity. We think we're living in a scarcity mentality when we are bracing. And I guess we could call it that because when we're bracing, we're withholding, we're contracting, right? But I think, and you correct me if I'm wrong, this is a little less about self worth and more about a nervous system pattern of bracing and contraction. And when
Yeah.
we brace and contract, there's going to be fear.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So let me shift gears for a moment. Can you find a sense of freedom and relief in not being married to who you were married to?
Yes.
Okay. What does that feel like?
Uh, Sad and hopeful.
Okay. But tell me more about like what it feels like in your body.
It feels like a relief. It feels
Hmm.
like my chest opening up.
Hmm.
It's like I can feel myself.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. So that right there is abundance.
Hmm.
That right there is possibility, not probability.
Ooh, tell me more about that. How do I get there? How do I
Well,
get there? How do
you've got to feel into the truth of now versus always defaulting to the programming of then.
Hmm.
So you're looking through the lens of what has happened in the past is going to happen in the future. That's probability versus really thinking, oh, wait, now that I am not in this weird codependent, toxic game where I've lost myself and I'm living in these people pleaser patterns and walking on eggshells around someone. Oh my gosh, what's possible?
Hmm.
Because it's really hard to be generative or good with money when we're selling our soul,
Hmm. Yeah.
right? And it sounds like, and again, I don't believe your marriage was a mistake. I don't believe really anything's a mistake, right? And I really commend you and acknowledge you and celebrate your worthiness of getting out.
Mhm.
But can you see how to keep yourself safe, like you said, you shrunk,
Yes, I absolutely did.
right?
Yeah.
So that's the scarcity. That's the problem, not money. Money's just a byproduct.
Okay.
So, how you solve the money problem is by reclaiming and returning to actually who you are. And that's some mindset work. Mindset work always works, reminding ourselves of the truth of who we are. The more you feel into the relief of getting out of this marriage and breaking a huge scarcity pattern. Because I want you to think for a moment that you actually getting this divorce is what's going to shift you positively with money. Like that is the thing. Because it was the band-aid that needs to be pulled off for you to stop shrinking. So this
Yeah.
is the beginning of a total turnaround for you. So you can look at it through the lens of probability. This is daunting. It's going to be hard again. I'm not equipped for this. I'm got to save my kids. Or you can look at it through the lens of possibility. Wow, like I'm not shrinking anymore. I'm stepping into my worth by honoring who I am. I'm remembering who I am. I'm remembering my clarity, my discernment, my strength. I'm actually going to be who my kids need me to be and teach them through how I live my life.
Yes, I love all of that. Yeah, that's what I want them to see. That's what I want.
Yes. Yes. So, what the internal work is rewiring your nervous system and your imprint when it comes to safety, which most of us project on money.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah. You are safer now than you were in your marriage, even if your bank account looks different. Can you see that?
I can see that. I feel that that's when I guess I'm coming back to that feeling of like overwhelm of just how much I'm taking on that's new. Like I have a great team of people that I've surrounded myself with,
Mhm.
but it's exhausting. Like to do it all.
How much less exhausting do you think it would be if you didn't think it was overwhelming? If you actually thought it was exciting?
You're right. I need to change that thought pattern.
Well, and this is freedom, right? Like if I went back and talked to the Jody who was miserable and controlled in her marriage, and I know you had your end of it too, like we all do, but for the most part, it sounds like you weren't very happy.
Mm.
And I said, you're going to get free and you're going to get control of this instead of like somebody else having it. What do you think a former version of you would say to that?
Well, I think she'd be really proud of myself.
Mhm. Mhm.
She'd really be really proud of me.
Mhm. Mhm. And here's the great thing, and this is a tough thing for people pleasers. One of the main reasons people pleasers get so overwhelmed is because we're often really, pardon my French, shitty at receiving the support that will truly help us.
How does one even figure out what they need to be
Great question. So let's put the magic wand back in your hand. What kind of support would feel most supportive right now? What would you need to take the overwhelm down from a 10 to like a 6?
I think right now it's a lot of decision fatigue, but I don't think anybody can support me with that. So for me, maybe supporting the pace at which I'm able to move forward,
Well,
you
let's
know?
see if I can help you with one. What's one big decision that you're grappling with?
Oh, this is going to sound so ridiculous, but like life insurance, or do I need a barbecue, or should I not get a barbecue, or like it seems small, but there's just I guess I'm 51, and I'm moved. I'm trying to figure out, half the things that I didn't end up with in our
Mhm.
division of assets and things and home things, and how to responsibly take my next steps. I also want to take steps for me. I want to buy clothes that fit. I want to
Right.
myself. So I don't even know where to start with like one need
Yep.
that
Yep. Okay. So take a breath.
Mhm.
Really take three. Let them go with a sound like a. Okay. And just keep breathing while I'm talking. You're going through a massive change. Allow yourself to grieve. Allow yourself to have the feelings that go with that. So your mind doesn't try to distract you from the feelings with all these thoughts. Because part of what perpetuates our overwhelm is when we have emotions there, sadness, anger, rage, grief, that we're not allowing ourselves time to fully express. And the grief isn't just about the marriage, it's the grief of what you thought your life was going to be like and it going in an entirely different direction. And there's a part of us in those moments that just thinks if we get everything sorted out, we'll feel better. So that's the first part. Allow yourself to feel and tell the part of you that thinks it needs to make all these decisions that there's plenty of time. There's plenty of time for that. So, what happens when you do that?
It feels good. It feels lighter, like the bracing can let go somewhat. I just want to feel it. Like I've been doing a lot of work. I just want to
Mm-hmm.
feel. You're right. I guess feeling into the even that tiny sliver of openness in my chest when I
Yeah,
sense of
into the relief. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, let me see if I can help you on the action front. Who is your most neurotypical, Virgo ish, organized friend?
My sister.
Great. Do you have a good relationship with her?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Where does she live?
She's about an hour and a half away. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is she super busy?
She is, yes, but she's a great support. Yeah.
Okay. Would you be willing to ask her to come down for a day and help you create a system for all these decisions so that you have on a whiteboard or laid out for you, sometimes if you do have more of a neurodivergent brain, seeing it all in front of you is really helpful, more than like a spreadsheet or lists or things, where she can help put some kind of organization and system to all these decisions. Would you receive that kind of support?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Great. And I bet she'd really love to.
Good. Can I ask, like, when it's just me in the
Mhm.
like a good friend of mine was saying, It's like, there's all these clothes on Amazon. And I guess just that different thinking. Like, I'm like, buy my clothes off Amazon. And she's like, no, you go to the real store and you buy the beautiful thing and you buy the expensive thing. And I would love to be able to find that mindset where I can change my worth from, let's just, not that there's a problem with, like, from an Amazon clothes shopper to, something more like quality. How can I can get the quality for other people. I can see the value in that for other people, but how do I create that value for me when I've equated being frugal or being less than as being the thing to shoot for, as opposed to that, no, I'm honoring myself with these things.
Hmm. Well, it definitely takes more than just buying the expensive things
Hmm.
because that will create more stress in your system if you
Yeah.
just go and do that. So, have you been listening to any of my promo for Kate Northrup's Good with Money workshop?
I attended her workshop last year when
Okay.
this was new, but now, yeah, I'm just in a different place.
Okay. You might want to dive back in because she always updates it. And obviously, she's going to do more in, let's see, each call is like over 2.5 hours, more in 6 hours than I can do in 30 minutes with you. But I'm going to do my best to answer your question. So, this is more of an imprint in your system. So, between the religious upbringing and the parents, it's sort of like it's not okay to do that. Like, if you do that, there's a huge feeling that you're doing something wrong.
Mhm.
Would you agree?
Yes, I hate that, but yes.
Yeah. 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 So, you've got to rewire the programming, and that's the stuff I do with clients and in my rewired course. And what I can tell you now on the podcast is it's about going back to those younger parts of you and helping her, multiple versions of you at a younger age, update and reprogram your subconscious. Because even though your rational conscious mind right now can go, you know what, like I deserve the Prada purse or whatever it is that you want, you will be up against all of those beliefs of this is bad, this is wrong, this is evil, this is sacrilegious, whatever those thoughts are, that you will be so much guilt and fear will come up. It won't be worth it. It won't be fun.
Mhm.
But once you start to, again, get clear of who you are, you'll know your values. Like, for example, I have a friend who's all about like clothes and buy the expensive stuff. And I'm like, but I don't really value that. Like, it doesn't really make me super happy to wear a $500 sweater versus a $69 sweater. It's more about if I like the sweater.
Agreed.
But what I do love is being able to spend on my and my family's health. What I do love is 5-star hotels. I love them so much. So that is where I will spend more because I value it so deeply. And you're in a rediscovery process, Jody. You've had to be a version of yourself for other people since childhood. And so maybe how you could relate to this is, you know what? I'm in a discovery process of like really remembering who I am and what I actually like. Like, what is something you could invest in that is in alignment with your values that you'd be like, actually, this is something that really matters to me?
Even some new perfume.
Great.
Yeah, just to feel that would feel lovely.
Great. And so when you do that, when you buy whatever you like, I really want you to feel into, this is like, this feels so good to me. This is symbolic of a newness for me. And so it's not just the money you're spending on the purchase, it's the message that you're sending to yourself, your subconscious, and the universe of like, I am like ready for a new chapter and I'm claiming it. And there's something about perfume and the scent of it and the newness of it that will actually help with reprogramming. Okay, next, moving forward. And I
Yeah.
love that you had an example of that.
Yeah. That's what I want to get. I want to get to the next. Like I feel like I've been in the muck for
Mm-hmm.
2 years. Like I
Mm-hmm.
want that freedom.
Yeah. Yeah. And the freedom is there. You felt a bit of it. Anytime you feel that relief, which I encourage you to continue leaning into more and more and more, that's the gateway to freedom. Freedom doesn't come. I know people that have millions in the banks and don't feel free. It does not come from money. It comes from being able to live in a non contracted space, which really means untangling and rewiring all the programming from childhood that put us into fear and scarcity in the first place. That's freedom. That's what we get free from. We don't get free from debt. That can be a result. We get free from our programming,
Ah,
which you are on your way to doing. If you weren't on your way to doing it, you wouldn't be going through this divorce.
oh, isn't it fascinating how when we turn towards our like I think he saw me healing and realized he was in for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He saw you getting free and knew he'd need to do the same if he wanted to stay with you. And for whatever reason, he continued to choose scarcity and fear. And that's not what you chose. So you got to remind yourself of the choices you make and have made that are already contradicting what you believe about yourself. If you were as much of the version of yourself you described to me, you wouldn't be on this call with me and you would not be going through with this divorce. So you got to give yourself a lot more credit.
Amazing to be this old and not this old, like I'm very young still, but yeah, just realizing that the, it is programming, just how much programming.
It's programming. And you know what? Most people never realize it in their entire lifetime. And then it just gets passed on from generations to generation to generation. And you are not passing it on. It's definitely not too late to impact your kids by the choices you make right now. Your awareness is a huge gift to them.
Thank you. Like I'm really feeling that there's possibility. Like I just get in my head. I've realized I've been trained
Mm-hmm.
to second guess myself and
Yep.
just, yeah, not rely on my intuition. There was so much gaslighting in my marriage. There's so much. That's not what I said.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I said.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was
Mm-hmm.
horrible. I didn't know it, but I want my kids to do this. And my daughter, she's 16. She told me a few months ago now, just that like, Dad never took you seriously, Mom. And I need her to see strength. I need her to see boldness. I need her to see real. And I want her to not have the feelings of scarcity and smallness that I've been trained to have.
Yeah. Yeah.
How with a 16-year-old girl, though, where everything is, I want, I want, I want. And I mean that in the kindest way. I was there too. How do you teach? Well, I'm trying to think, like, how do I teach financial responsibility? But I guess what you're saying is it's not about the finances at all. It's just about how to be me,
Mm-hmm.
sure how to be her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it sounds like she doesn't have a super emotionally available father. So she's going to be wanting things to fill that void.
Mhm.
So your opportunity as her mom is to help her see that void is there and get her support for that.
Yeah, I'm writing that down. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, you are well on your way, Jody.
I don't know. It just like I see the good, I see the growth, I see the moments of awesome. And it's amazing how hard it is. But yeah, slow and steady, I guess, like they've always said, wins that race, you know?
It does. And if you can, when you feel into the hard moments, can you please remind yourself that that's normal. You have been programmed for half a century.
Yeah, I have. But how can I, like, those moments, I'm thinking specifically again with my daughter when she's home with me, 1 week on, 1 week off, and how I just have this tendency to, I think it's so important the time that I have with her because it's so limited now, and I get in my head. So I know that I'm not as present as I need to, would like to be with her. In those moments, do you have any advice for how to stop myself or um
When you see her 16-year-old self, can you have memories of her as a baby, her as a toddler, her as a little girl?
yes, because I think I was a fabulous little kid mom, and I think I struggle as a teenage mom. But
Okay. So, in those moments where you're out of your head, best place to go, your heart. Sometimes when we get in our head as moms, it's because if we actually feel how much we love our kid and how much we worry about them, it's super painful. It's like there's so much love your heart could break. Do you feel that ever? Yeah.
yeah.
So let yourself feel that,
Mm.
because all the guilt and the shame and the regret and all of those feelings and like what you're worried about for your daughter and future projecting on her, it's a lot. It's overwhelming. And so you're going into your head to protect yourself from feeling. So see her and imagine her at 6 months, 10 months, a year, 2 years, 4 years, first day of kindergarten. Let yourself feel how much you love her and drop into your heart.
Like that. Thank you.
You're so welcome. And listen to this episode as a reminder. Thank you, Jody, for your vulnerability and for already starting to break the cycle of scarcity by asking for support and being on the show. Now, I went a little long on this episode, so there's not much to break down. We went to a lot of different places because there is a lot of different places. You know, when we go through something like a divorce and we're stepping massively out of a pattern we've been in for a long time, there's a lot to uncover. So my intention with Jody, and I hope you're listening, is to kind of give an overview of all the places to dive deeper in, and also really just to celebrate how far you've come. And Jody's story and her experience is such a great example of how locked in to our money beliefs we get. And it starts really early on in childhood. We get disconnected from our power. We get disconnected from our knowing that we are co-creators and the universe is abundant and we are fully capable. And I think so many money systems have been set up to be confusing. Like even the way the stock exchange looks. I mean, it looks like another language. And so many of us, we have this like mental block that keeps us from really stepping into becoming empowered with our money. And one thing I learned from Kate's workshop is that women actually are better investors than men in so many ways because we have the added power of our intuition and we are able to really feel into whether something is a good investment or not. We're able to use that logic and intuition. It's not to say men aren't great investors, but I really want to empower any of my female listeners that there are ways that you can learn about this stuff that are fun, that are fulfilling, and that really can help you reclaim your power. And that's what I encourage Jody to do, is to go ask for support, not just with her money, but anything that feels overwhelming. Like her idea to call her sister and have her come over and whiteboard and just break it down. Like that's abundance, that's support. And when we are in a challenging time and we think we have to figure out all on our own, whoa, that is going to feel super overwhelming. So I want to remind you, part of having an abundance mindset is knowing that there is support and knowing that you're worthy of support. You got to ask for it. It's not going to magically show up on your doorstep, but really making that step of asking for support, not putting it all on you to try to figure it out yourself. And so I really hope Jody moves forward in that and that she continues to reclaim her power when it comes to money. Because I know if she had the strength to get out of this marriage, and if she is so committed to breaking generational patterns and being different for her kids, especially her daughter, she, just like you, has what it takes to reclaim her financial power and worth. And again, if you want support with that, the best person I know is Kate Northrup's Relax Money program. The free workshop's still happening. Just tomorrow's the last day. christinehassler.com/goodwithmoney will either take you to the free workshop replays, or by the time you listen to this, she may have opened cart for the course, which I will be giving some amazing bonuses if you register through my link, christinehassler.com/goodwithmoney. And I will be supporting you through the program as well, because I'm really passionate about all people, especially women, reclaiming and really stepping into their full power. All right, everybody, that's the show for today. Sending you so much love and many blessings. Until next time. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Life Coaching. I hope something you heard today resonated with you and helped you to see yourself with more clarity and compassion. Remember, every shift, no matter how small you think it is part of your healing. If this episode supported you, please consider sharing it with a friend or leaving a review. It means the world to me. If you'd like to connect with me, come say hi on Instagram at Christine Hassler. And if you feel called to be coached live on the show, you can apply at christinehassler.com/waitlist. For courses, retreats, and more resources to support your journey, visit christinehassler.com. You're not alone in this journey, and I'm grateful to walk it with you. Until next time.